Hi everybody, it's 𝗀𝗵𝗏 here with a mini video for 𝗨𝗏. 𝗨𝗏, who took part in the 5-day photo fun event last week and was an incredibly enthusiastic participant. 𝗨𝗏, you took lots of pictures every day, and I honour people like you, and that's why I'm going to look at a photograph from every single day with you. It was part of the, hang on, where we are, this group, so the smartphone photography group on Facebook. So if you would like to invite friends to join us, then please do. I'm looking to get more and more members to enjoy the photography throughout the year. So let's look at some of your stuff from the first day. By the way, this is leading into a masterclass, folks, and I'll tell you about that at the end. So the first day, the first shot that really struck everybody was this one. It was getting close and look up, mainly look up, but getting close as well. And everybody loved this. I'm going to compare this with another one from this day from 𝗨𝗏. It's almost divided into 3 perfect thirds. So the top third is obviously the blue sky. The third nearest us is this sort of grid of holes, which is pretty impressive, and that fades. There comes a point where you can't see the black through the holes. That's the middle section. And also, to make the middle section different, to distinguish it from the others, you've got these yellow panels of whatever they are. Really interesting. I wonder what that is. Some sort of building, probably. And any way to improve this, or another way to look at it? You know I don't like chopping things off. I'm just wondering about this bit on the left here being chopped, whereas the one on the right isn't. Some people were keen, including myself, were keen to have seen a perfectly symmetrical one to see what that would look like. And I'm going to compare that with another one, very much in the same style. It's maybe the same building, yeah, it looks like the same building. But in this case, there's a slightly different processing effect used on it. And we've got probably some sort of lamp or something sticking out. I love that, sticking out into the blue. Having said that, I'm not sure. I think it's almost not quite as strong a shot as the other one, whereas the other one, it should be stronger, I'm thinking. And if you compare them, look at the amount of blue in the top one and the amount of blue where the lamp is. I'm feeling the lamp, or whatever it is, sticking out. It's kind of squeezed in, and there's an awful lot of foreground in this second one. Like maybe 4/5 of this is foreground with no real point of interest. And the real point of interest is the, let's call it a lamp. But it's very small, very squashed into not much space, and it's not sharp. The point of interest should be sharp, really. Otherwise, it loses one of its, well, one of the ways of realizing what the subject is that it's sharp. So that's something to think about. And a really good 2 photographs really helps us to compare and see what's, you know, what we like about one, what we like about the other. Just going to take this one from day 2, which was 2 contrasting colours. It's kind of one colour, which is the bright pink, and the rest. And I must admit, I love this. I don't know if it looks too new to be a found shoe. Well, I'm wandering around Paris. I often see found shoes, you know, just shoes lying around. I think, I wonder whose shoe that is, you know, or who it belonged to, what sort of life it had. So it's a really striking shot. Ways of making it even stronger. I'm thinking the bottom half of the shot, effectively, is this wall. And I'm not convinced. I would like to see what maybe not putting... It's quite effective, actually, to have the line, a very hard line, in between the bottom bit of wall and then the rest. I'm not so sure that all of that foreground merits half the shot. So that's just something to think about. Let's look at the next one. The next one, so many wonderful ones to choose from here. How could I start? So I chose one, and I chose this one, and the black and white one. It's really, it really genuinely is black and white, because if you look at her hair, that's literally black, and the shadows under her chin, even her eye, is pretty much 100% black. And the white highlights are pretty much 100% white. It's very rare that a black and white photo literally has, you know, only black and white. It's normally shades of grey. The shades of grey are in the background around the white stripe thing and her face. And what I'm going to say is, I'm drawn more to the whiteness and even the scarf on your head, Fatou, than your face. Now this is a portrait, let's face it. So the face, I would say the face has to be the thing that absolutely hits us, strikes us. And I'm more struck by this incredibly white area here than your face. So what I would try, I'm not saying do it, I always say, as I'm saying this on every video, first of all, what is a great photograph? It's first and foremost if you like it. If you took it and you like it, then it's good. But that doesn't mean we can't look at ways of making it, you know, even better. You find ways of making you like it more. And what tends to happen is other people tend to be more and more impressed as well. So this is a portrait, an artistic one, but still I would find ways of highlighting the face and the eye in particular. The eye is, you know, this is a cliche, the gateway to the window of the soul or something. The eye is slightly lost in all this drama of the white, the headscarf and all the rest of it. There are ways of doing this. And, well, on the masterclass, for example, we definitely have a training on portraits. It's wonderful. I love the fact you've chopped your head halfway down. Very, very nice. You know, it's not original in that it's been done before, but how often do you see it? Almost never. So wonderful. Absolutely love that shot. Okay, here's the next one. And a lot of interesting stuff. I'm going to go for this one here, because I'm getting a feel for you and black and white. I'm getting the idea that you love black and white. Quite a few of your shots are. And this is a gorgeous portrait of, well, pure love, really, isn't it? Pure tenderness. You could entitle this without saying, you know, maybe it's a mother and a daughter or an older sister and a baby. Above that, there's a kind of a tenderness. Are there ways? Well, the background is fuzzy, like the sofa and this is fuzzy. Now, the fact that you can see the remote control and the phone and maybe there's something on the carpet here is fine. It's a shot taken in a living room. If you want to move up to the next level of portraiture, there's a few things you can do. You might want to get rid of the distracting element. I always say elephants instead of elements. Get rid of the distracting elements, such as the remote control and the phone. Now they're almost sharp, and they're sharp and they're square and they're in stark contrast to the softness of the baby's face. And look at the lovely arm just relaxed on, let's say, sister's, the little fold of the cloth of the t-shirt in the hand. It's absolutely beautiful. And then there's the remote control. It could detract from the power of the shot. That's one thing. Obviously it's a great shot, you know, and this is, I'm giving you high level stuff. I'm giving you stuff that would take your photography to another level if you want to. Otherwise, you know, what a beautiful shot. The other thing I would say is, in terms of the quality, of the overall quality of the shot, I mean in terms of punchiness, blacks, whiter whites and stuff, it's a kind of, this is not derogatory, I'm just saying, it's a kind of mushy grey. The whole photograph is a kind of mushy grey. You could have a bit more contrast is what I mean. You've got to be careful with contrast. The last thing most women want, I'm not being sexist here, the last thing most women want is high contrast, because you can see every pore, every wrinkle and all the rest of it. But soft focus is all very well, but to an extent. But you've got to balance it with a portrait that whacks you, you know, like, oh my God, that's amazing, as opposed to one that is a little bit, you know, sort of soft and mushy. And, you know, in the end, what I'm saying is there are ways of playing with this to get other looks, especially in black and white, where you don't have colour to play with, which on the one hand is good, but also you've lost an element, so, and not an elephant. So you need to find other ways of making this a, you know, wow portrait. So I'm going to finish with your day 5 thing. I'm honouring Fatou because she spent so much effort, contributed so many cool photographs, all different to every day. That's why I'm taking a bit more time on this. And I'm going to look at, this is angles, and I'm going to look at 2 here. This also proves to you that I can talk ad nauseum about photography forever with no problem whatsoever. So I'm going to look at these 2. And 2, I should have got rid of my 5-day photo fun link there. Anyway, do it now, it's a bit late. 2 very different studies of sunsets. This one and this one. So the topic was angles, so let's just look at that first of all. The angles we can see in the first one. Yeah, there's definite angles of the churches angling up towards the top right, and you've got the angles of these flying buttresses in the really on the far right. You've also got the angles of the light. I don't know if you've used a special effect here or not, but you've got strong angles of the light. So angles have definitely been respected in the shot. And although they're not, you know, they're not in your face, it's not like crazy angles. It's the photo is taken normally upright. It's just the angle you've taken the church at, you're standing in relation to the cathedral or whatever it is, makes it at an angle. This is incredible, strong viewpoint, a strong point of interest in the bottom left. Really so strong. You can't get away from the fact that there's a huge sun leaping at us, stabbing out towards us, and that has an effect on the subject of the cathedral. You know, could be a good one, could be a less good one. It depends what you want the photograph to say. Compare that with this, completely different style. It's very subtle, it's very low-key. In other words, it's very dark. There's only 2 real highlights here. One is this, let's say it's setting, the setting sun itself, and the other is the rails, which are coming towards us. And they are high lit, and they are at angles, so she's done the angles thing. And I wouldn't say anything more about this, other than the fact that isn't it interesting to compare this approach to a sunset to the other one. The first one in your face, this one very subtle and very moody, mysterious. In terms of composition, I don't know. Definitely, cropping is one thing that is very important. In other words, cutting bits off the edges or the top and bottom of photograph to make it stronger. And this is definitely something that we could look into in this photograph and in any others. And we do, of course, we talk about cropping in the masterclass. So that's it for those from Fatou. Thanks very much. And folks, if you're watching this, this was a lead up to my masterclass, which starts on Monday. Make this year your smartphone sizzling photography year, if you would like to. And starts on Monday. Go to infinitecreativitynow.com if you would like to know more, /photo if you'd like to know more about it. Here's some other images. All of my images and all my promo stuff are taken on my smartphone, of course. Otherwise there wouldn't be much point me being a masterclass giver, would there? And here's the last one I'll leave you with. Create, share and learn. No, I'll just show you this again. On the left it says from sad snaps to incredible images. That's exactly what happens on the masterclass. I'm not saying your snaps are sad, but whatever state they're in, they're often very sort of tourist pic type things, and they will go to wonderful things. And again, this is it. To go to infinitecreativitynow.com/photo, and I will see you around in the group, on the masterclass, or maybe even on the streets of Paris. Thanks for watching. Bye bye for now, folks.